Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a new episode of It's a Progressive World. As always, you can find timestamps down below, and please like and subscribe. All right, Sam, do a quick tease for us, please.
So this week we mostly gonna talk about geopolitics, a lot of kind of big stuff. Talk about Russia-Ukraine war a little and recent development there. Talk a little bit about just generally Russian, uh, the Russian-American, I guess, relations and international relations. Then we're gonna move on to a bit talking about Chinese-American relations, and I guess Chinese global relations, and TikTok and censorship, I suppose. And then we're gonna move on to Middle East. There's been quite a lot of recent development in Middle East. We're gonna talk about those: Israel, Syria, Lebanon, and obviously our favorite, Iran. And then we're gonna talk about a little bit about India and Pakistan and what's been going on in India and Pakistan. Quite a lot of important recent development. After that, we're gonna have a bit of fun with our good old friend of ours, our good old lad, that is Boris Johnson. Then our, respectful king, who will discuss his recent travel adventures, His Grace. Then talking about this Emmanuel Macron charlatan guy and his recent development in France. And some stuff about the trans and anti-trans debate, I suppose. And racism in America, some really, really important articles, and some really, frankly, fun stuff at the expense of some female politicians, AOC, Kamala Harris, and a female role model, if there was ever one, Gwyneth Paltrow. I am hoping this will become as big as Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp trial. Then briefly talk about Elon Musk and his fantastic leadership as Twitter, I suppose. And then at the end, maybe just talk a little bit what's going on in the progressive YouTube left and I'm Crazy Anna and all that.
Yeah, well,
So,
this
yeah.
you could, yeah. I guess this you could put it right next to the other trans stuff as well. I guess we could talk
Oh, really?
about this
Okay, let's
specific
put it there.
video. But nice, great lineup. I think thanks to you, I'm one of the most informed people on planet Earth right now.
I'm glad to. Finally I am providing a service. One,
At least,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's
This
like
is
getting
all
tailored news every day. Okay,
right.
interesting.
I don't Bangladesh. Okay, all right. Did I need to know this? Thank you. I surely I can help a
You're like
lot.
my personalized news service. But yeah, nice.
What's that? Do you
And
know that they always advertise it in a lot of YouTube videos? They email you there's like a selected news things.
yeah,
What is that?
I
Coffee
mean, like
grinder
new.
or something?
Oh, I mean,
Coffee thingy? No, it's got a
there
I
are
mean,
so
it's a
many.
famous brand.
Okay, yeah, I see.
Oh, there are so many? I thought, all right,
In a
cool.
way, and I guess any
Such
news
a big market.
organization does it as well. Yeah.
Mm.
And our Finkelstein interview is up, huh?
Oh yeah, but that was great. That
That
was
was one of our
quite a
bigger achievements so far.
yeah. This is probably yeah. Put it up there with Christian Parenti, Alan Esquet. Who else have we had? That was really good. RJ
Yeah,
was pretty good.
yeah, for sure. And Gerald
All the
Horn.
Frankfurter
But
School people were great. It's just we talked about. I wish we
but
talked
in
about more
terms of hold on,
current
but in
stuff.
terms of fame, I think Norman is definitely like the most famous one, the biggest one.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. Norman. Yeah, yeah, by far, Mr. Finkelstein. I would imagine. I mean, trying to think. No, yeah, you're right.
All right, Sam, why don't you begin your what is it that you call it? Tour de force or something like that?
What was it? Yeah, there was a name we came up with. Toward the geopolitics. Geopolitics toward the force. It was something. Yeah. Anyway, geopolitics toward the force, I think. But anyway, so we hear about this. There seems to be quite a lot of rumblings about the fact that Ukraine is gonna try to take Crimea back. And I mean, I've been watching quite a lot of analysis and stuff, and they say it's potentially possible, which seems weird. Some people say it's maybe they just gonna cut off Crimea and then negotiate with the Russians. But yeah, just that's the latest update.
Yeah,
What
no, I
was
heard
quite
it.
interesting, what I found really interesting was you got glimpse of this in, I guess, Western media, whatever you want to call it, was that the criticisms that Putin is receiving inside. Where was this? Where was the quote? Sorry. Here. Igor Strelkov, a Russian ultranationalist and former intelligence officer, this week issued his harshest criticism of the Russian president to date, lambasting him for not modernizing the army and calling him a wet towel. Vladimir Vladimirovich, shut up, just shut up, keep quiet, Sterlek said in a video tirade this week directly aimed at the president. Then we won't have to be ashamed that there is such a president in our country. So as you can see, it's like, I think, I don't know, even if Russia does lose Crimea, it's very bad for Putin, almost like could end him. So I wonder if he will be replaced by a far more nationalistic group person, or you know what I mean? Like, because a lot of people are saying if Putin goes and a government that is more amicable to the West comes to power in Moscow, then maybe we can negotiate something. It's like, yeah, I don't know how that's like. I don't know how many people amicable to the West are left in Russia in general. There is 6 of them. Oh, Gorbachev is dead. No, there is 5 of them now. So,
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
Yeah, if losing Crimea would be
quite. I'm not saying I'm not going crazy or anything, or doing analysis, predicting or anything. I'm just saying it's very bad for Putin. And if there is a change, it seems to be likely the change in policy, in personnel, would go towards a more nationalistic or more chauvinistic, whatever you want to call it, regime militarily, rather than, just saying. Same, by the way, Ukraine, same situation. Whenever, like I mean, this is where, like, happens in all the wars. We're going to discuss this in Syria as well. Like, as you lose ground, usually you tend to become more hardcore a lot of times.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
So yeah, he's under a lot of pressure, but I'm good luck with Guardian and all the other people finding all those amicable people to the West in Russia. Now, this is something probably I doubt you watched or something, but it's probably we're gonna
this is one where I haven't seen.
Yeah, this is part of the larger US-Russia standoff, I suppose, or Russia international relations. Don't know how to.
A group of radical pro-Russia protesters removed the European Union flag just outside the Georgian parliament and set it on fire. The scene shows the political pressure the small country has been under since Russia invaded Ukraine. Many Georgians fear their country could slip into Russia's orbit of control, so they've been pushing back.
We students will fight for European values till the end.
Georgi Pachvashvili and thousands of others took to the streets to fight for their future, and for a future where Georgia joins the EU.
We are natural, historic members of the European society, and we wish to integrate into the European Union. That's written in our constitution, and that's agreed in our society.
And you can see the scenes of agreement within the society here. Look at the agreement. Look at the agreement there.
But listen, were these guys university students?
Oh, of course, yes.
Yeah. So for university students, it's much better if Georgia as part of the EU. So
That's true. Yeah,
I
that's
see
true.
where they're coming from.
No, fair enough. I mean, I don't know, but
No, it is. It makes a big
it depends on
It's
their
still
family
going to
background.
Moscow is good too, but
Yeah, I know.
a few
You're
more
right.
doors.
You're right.
Moscow, London.
Moscow, Paris, Moscow, Paris, 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 Paris.
Okay, fine.
Now,
Madrid. What?
whatever. Rome. Whatever. Sicily, but just not Moscow. As you know, I spent quite a lot of time
Yeah.
in Georgia, but this is, as you know, Georgia was the other country that George Bush mentioned in his infamous speech that said, maybe Ukraine, Georgia, maybe everybody could join NATO, you know, except Russia. Except Russia, everybody could join. Which then, Georgia had the first sort of war, Abkhazia war, which was sort of a separatist movement. Again, it's kind of like Donetsk situation, and Russia kind of seemed to win that war partially. And right now, the government of Georgia is sort of more inclined towards Russia. This guy, Garibashvili. By the way, every family name, I don't know if you know this, every family name in Georgia ends with Vili, which was quite a big, you know, quite a brave decision they made. Everybody, male, female, we're gonna end with Vili. Everybody's Vili. Okay. So and I don't do you remember Saakashvili? Saakashvili was the pro-American guy who he had a fascinating history. He went to Ukraine, he became a Ukrainian citizen, became a governor of a part of Ukraine, then had a clash with the corrupt Ukrainian regime, and then they kicked him out. And then he was trying to get back to the country, and they were stopping him at the Polish border. I don't know what happened after that. But anyway, in Georgia, things are kicked off after they tried to make foreign companies register as agents, which to me seems kind of like reasonable, but the devil is in the details, and these people are saying it's very it's a anti-freedom of a speech law, it's an excuse to ban newspapers, blah blah blah. What I found really fascinating when I was in Georgia, though, was how many creative hipsters you see that also have fascistic tendencies, man. I mean, I don't know, did you see him talking about we are natural part of Europe and all that? They see themselves as sort of defenders of Europe against the Muslim hordes. I mean, this is the image that was sort of crystallized, like medieval times, and then later on. And it's really like
they're playing defense.
Well, that's what they say. I mean, it's the same with Serbians, though. When you look at their history, they've been fighting on both sides like all the time, always. Like there were half of Georgians were fighting for the Muslims, the other half were fighting against the Muslims. But anyway, I don't know, though. It's really weird because they are like, we are very tolerant of, you know, gays and, you know, different sexualities and all that. But if you're slightly, you know, darker than, you know, eggshell, and then we have a fucking problem. It's really odd, and they all dress like him, like hipsters and all that, and it's, I don't know, it's a really weird situation. And on the other hand, you have these like pro-Russian guys who are, you know, have the values of an Italian fascist, but, you know, but at the same time, they seem to have some points sometimes. So it's a really odd situation. You know, in
escapades in Georgia are coming handy here, huh? You're giving some first-hand analysis.
I haven't been there in like 3 years, so I don't know how first-hand it is, but it was funny though. When I was there, they talked about the parliament. You know, they used to, at least back then, they used to move their parliament around.
Oh, really?
Like 3 months in this city. It was part of like decentralization. Like they have all these weird programs in post-Soviet countries. Like we're gonna decentralize the power by putting the municipality of cities in different cities. We're gonna have Tehran municipality in Rome. Yeah, they're gonna focus on issues in Tehran, and it's gonna be what? really weird odd
Uh,
thing. I just anyway.
that's funny.
Just yeah.
But I'm
And
curious, yeah,
then
is the last name thing like real? Like everybody,
yeah,
or were you exaggerating
almost
a bit?
no. It's like it's worse than the Kim thing in Korea. Like it's like in Korea, like
Yeah,
70% are Kim. No, it's
yeah.
more than
No,
that.
man,
It's way
during the
it's
World
everybody's
Cup,
Willy.
there was literally one day where the entire South Korean team, except one
It was,
player, their last name was Kim.
and he was adopted from Japan. So they wanted to make him different.
It was
No,
insane.
it's pretty much everybody's a Willy. No, even I mean, back in the days in Iran, there was a lot of people, even like our father's generation, because it
Whoa,
came
okay,
up in the
history time again. Okay, what now?
yeah,
Tell
yeah.
me about my past. What about?
Not no, not us, not us. No, in Iran, a lot of there was a famous parliamentarian guy who got in a
Okay.
school. Actually, he was called. A lot of people were called Off. Rasulov,
Mm,
Aliyov. All of these people who were from Caucasus immigrants, and we had quite a few families that were like Ali Vili or like Hossein Vili. But then they changed usually they changed their family names to a more Iranian sounding
I
name.
see. Yeah, I
Like
was not
50
aware
years
of
ago. Yeah, there was a parliamentarian. Yeah, he got called out. One of the other parliamentarian, he said, Mr. Rasulov. And I don't know what, apparently it was really insulting to him. You brought up my old family name. I didn't think it was such a big deal, but anyway. So we had also this, I'm sure you heard about this one. This was a big deal that Russia is they're gonna put basically nuclear weapons. They're gonna give the Belarusians Iskander weapon system or defense system, whatever it's called. So they're gonna basically put weapons there. So
Yeah, I guess I'm not as informed as I thought, but close.
All right. This was pretty big. Look, man, I love Lukashenko, but look at this guy. Look at this guy. Eats a fucking cow every night. Look at him. Eats it raw, like alive. The cow is just
No, he's probably
it.
on a step.
He's great. He's what?
He's probably on a elevated surface.
No, he's a big motherfucker. He's one of the last
Can't be
sort
that
of
much bigger
Soviet.
than Putin.
Oh, he's big, man. Lukashenko is big because I remember he used to be friends with Ahmadinejad, and Ahmadinejad was also tiny. And he was, we'll hug him. Lukashenko is a great last sort of Soviet era dictator we have left, basically. I mean, there is a couple of guys in Africa, but he's the last, serious sort of thing. And he keeps trying to bring back, he keeps trying to trick Putin into becoming head of the Soviet Union. He keeps saying, maybe Putin becomes the head of Soviet Union and I'm a general there and we all sort of become one. It's come on, man, let's do it. Putin is, no, let's calm down, let's calm down. Really, really cool guy. Maybe we join together and I become the head of the joint Russia-Belarusian forces. Putin becomes my general. How about that? That's good. No. Oh, all right. Shit. Okay. I can't find. I want to somewhere. They didn't write his name anywhere.
Oh, his height? No.
Yeah, I want to confirm his massiveness to you.
No.
Look at him. Look at him.
Go to his wiki. Okay, fine. Yeah, he's always that much bigger than Putin.
He's always that much. His height.
Oh, okay.
I'm glad we are for 1.82. That's pretty tall, right? And forget about
he's like
the
Obama's height.
Just look at look how broad he is. Look at how broad he is.
Oh, look at that
tank.
Obama thing that I said. Look at that photo. Look, yeah, he's Obama's height or a bit shorter.
Oh my God, he met with Obama? What the fuck happened? Oh, this was the period.
Just for his height, just to double check his height.
Same height, double the width. Double the width. No, but yeah, this was the period he was trying to be nice, and this was Russia and Belarus were trying to be nice too. I think this was Medvedev's period. Must have been. I guess I don't. But Yeah, he's a great. I can't wait for him to make it come. And it's apparently, I don't know if that's the son, but apparently he's working as one of his sons to becoming an heir. So that's great. Looking forward to that. But yeah, that's gonna. Are you looking forward to the escalated tensions on the Crimean Peninsula? Or
No.
why not? It's gonna be so much. There's a war, and then they're gonna cut off Crimea, and you have no creativity. Anyway, now
Yeah,
from
this is interesting, no? I mean, Honduras isn't the world's most powerful, but
wait, Cameron. I don't know if you wait. Don't. I was good. You heard about this? Yeah,
No,
of course you heard
said...
about this. This was a big. People. This is a big shift in international balance of power. Let's listen to this. This is. I mean,
just read the title.
In other world news, Honduras has formally broken off decades-long diplomatic relations with Taiwan and switched to China. It comes after the Honduran foreign minister traveled to Beijing to discuss establishing ties.
So, I mean, come on. This is behavior. I mean, we should have started with this just for the clicks. Make sure you put this Honduras ties. Just put exactly these words
Sam,
in the title.
you have to put things into perspective, okay? When you have like 5 islands voting for you, during like some kind of UN vote, if you lose one of those one islands, it's a big deal. I don't care how meaningless it is,
Man, I love the best part. I don't know if you've heard about this thing. Listen to this just a bit.
We will not engage in meaningless dollar diplomacy with China. In the past few years, China...
Have you heard about this new term, dollar diplomacy? It's what we used to call, buying somebody off or bribery. And it's just, I love how transparent. I forget how much was the exact amount, but Hondurasian officials, they came out and said, yeah, we asked Taiwan to increase our $100 billion aid, and they said no, so we went to China, and China was cool with it, so we're out. It's like, what is this?
Amen.
Like, so transparently, I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, this is a country that probably sells its passport, so I'm not surprised. But do you think this shift of balance will lead to, this is a big win for China, right? Man, I love the fact that, by the way, America
I'm sure they're
warned,
enjoying it, some of them.
America warned Honduras about this. And it's like, you cut off ties with Taiwan 40 years ago. You don't And this, let's move on to the bigger sort of conflict between China and the West, which is this whole sort of TikTok and
yeah, this perhaps
Twitter
can go
and
after the video because it's like more of a minor news.
This video?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we discussed them
okay,
both at the same time. But just to give people an overview of the segment, let's as always play let me just check it. Yes, I am.
TikTok is the world's fastest growing social media app, but the US and some Western governments say it allows China access to private data and is a security threat. The company and the Chinese government both deny this. So who should we believe? This is Inside Story.
And as I'm sure people are aware, the CEO of TikTok, which is based in US, appeared in front of US Congress, which we're going to play a couple of clips from to answer their questions. And aren't you glad that they're sort of, clamping down on, children's, this mind virus for children, this disgusting.
Man, those people who are asking those questions, those Congress people, oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, that was something else. But thank you for sending me this video. This is one of my favorite topics. And so the debate that Al Jazeera hosted, I enjoyed it because each of them said like one of the arguments that I'm for. So I was glad that yeah, so I really, that lady is just insanely bad, that Congress lady. But so this guy at first gave some good, gave some decent context. Then his back and forth, there we go, with the guy in Beijing was hilarious. That was something else. And
yeah, I mean, it's Al Jazeera kind of always does that. They have two official people and then one sort of a riff-raff journalist, sort of like,
one
like,
rogue guy, one bad
one,
boy.
they're gonna allow this pleb to come in and comment, I suppose. And the Beijing guy is the Chinese guys. New York lady, she's not quite US establishment.
Yeah,
she's
no,
more
no.
sort of a liberal, actually,
Yeah.
sort of establishment. She's very careful about what she says. And then you had the Dublin guy, who's a journalist, who's against, we are fighting against, dictatorship everywhere. It's anywhere, China, America, we don't know the Chinese come. And the Dublin guy is much more the Irish guy. And I apologize, by the way, for my Irish accent. I have to practice it more. Potatoes. We don't have any potatoes. I believe that's how you get the rhythm of Irish into you. We don't have potatoes. Anyway, and the Dublin guy is very critical of, he's not critical, actually the Dublin guy is probably right. He's like,
Yeah.
TikTok can say the information is secure, but all these companies are answerable to Chinese government, including the company that owns TikTok. So it's
and
all
I'm pretty sure
bullshit.
he also said, but it's also the same thing with Instagram and Facebook and Twitter.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
he said that.
that's the whole story with Matt Taibbi and Twitter, right? That
yeah, exactly.
that the government could go and get whatever they wanted. They just had to send like an email or a WhatsApp. There wasn't even like a protocol. Not even some kind of ticketing system in place.
If we could get these journalists together with the journalists that could cover Twitter files, perhaps we can get a real story out of them that, media generally is controlled.
But I think
by
some
the
of them
people who
were
pay
saying
for it.
that. So yeah, it was decent. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, the Dublin guy was saying that.
The guy from Beijing
guy
was
attacks
good
him.
half the time, except as soon as the Chinese government came under attack, then he would just like go crazy.
You have the Beijing guy was a lawyer that was hired by the Chinese government. I mean, you couldn't put it more like, you have no evidence of that. Show me evidence. It's like, what do you mean show me evidence? It's in China, under the Chinese jurisdiction. Show me the evidence. Get the evidence from the Chinese government. If you can declassify documents from, go on, do it. It's like, of course I can't declassify documents from So yeah, but they all agreed that, of course, TikTok is, stealing and selling and, all that kind of thing, your information, but so are all the other ones.
Yeah, there's nothing unique.
Yeah, I mean.
Just the real story is there that TikTok is kicking their asses, is outperforming all these American platforms. And American government agencies don't have access to TikTok data. So that's probably just pissing them off as well.
Exactly. And this part is fascinating. This explains to you that all this is a neoliberal regime, that's a communist regime, this is a Marxist regime, this is blah blah. To how much of a bullshit all of that is. Just because listen to this.
They type and copy who they talk to, biometric data and more. Nearly every data point imaginable, from people's location to what they type and copy, who they talk to, biometric data, and more. Even if they've never been on TikTok, your trackers are embedded in sites across the web. TikTok surveils us all. And the Chinese Communist Party is able to use this as a tool to manipulate America as a whole.
Well, the Chinese government...
That was from the sort of liberal heartland of the world, the congressperson, advocating for more censorship, basically.
Acted on
and
Friday
then you have this from the
United States,
and this is from the biggest communist party in the world, the most successful one.
Unfairly suppressing TikTok.
The Chinese government attaches great importance to protect data privacy and security in accordance with the law. It has never and will not require companies or individuals to collect or provide data, information and intelligence from foreign countries for the Chinese government. The US government has not provided any evidence so far to prove that TikTok threatens US national security, but it has repeatedly presumed guilt and unreasonably suppressed the company. The US should earnestly respect the principles of market economy and fair competition and provide an open, fair, just environment for companies from all countries to invest and operate in the US.
And when has China ever done that? Don't worry about it.
It was hilarious.
A market economy. Come on, guys. I mean, but yeah, the most hilarious part are the Congress people, and I have some highlights if you want. There's so just are. By the way, do you think parliamentarians just everywhere in the world? I mean, people in the legislative body of each country, they are like the
Man, these
worst of the
folks were
worst.
shot. Yeah, but in these kind of committees, they're always like, oh my God, you see their true, like, you see how they really
You
behave
said
and the questions there.
transparently shit
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah,
And even
exactly.
like they don't even act. It's the same in Iran. It's the same with the British committees. Listen to this.
TikTok also targets our children. The For You algorithm is a tool for TikTok to own their attention and prey on their innocence. Within minutes of creating an account, your algorithm can promote suicide, self-harm, and eating disorders to children. It encourages challenges for them to put their lives in danger and allows adults to prey on our beautiful, beloved daughters.
It challenges
Jesus Christ.
Destroy our children. I mean, what is she talking about?
It's also a portal for drug dealers to sell illicit fentanyl that China has banned, yet is helping Mexican cartels produce, send across our border, and poison our children.
We care about our economy, and we sure as heck care about our children.
Children.
We sure do.
Sure do.
And that's why you're here today, because 2/3 of all the youth in our country are on your app.
How is that my problem?
95 minutes on your app. The Chinese Communist Party is engaged in psychological warfare through TikTok to deliberately influence U.S. children.
Okay, so obviously...
It's so funny, like the statements that the CEO receives, like in some contexts, it'll be positive and in some contexts negative. Like 2/3 of the market are with you. Yeah, good. Is this good? We're hitting our targets? Is this what we're talking about?
Is this for shareholders right now, or is this because I don't know how to react? No, it's I mean the ridiculousness, they just hackiness of the performance. I mean, forget about just the fact that every politician is whatever, but it's just go to some acting classes or something. I don't know, like improve your. This one was really bad. This one was my favorite. So let's watch this as well. Yeah, it's right here.
Your technology is literally leading to death.
Literally, camera. Literally. This is like I mean, I know I'm abused literally a lot, but this guy, wow.
Mr. Chu, yes or no? Do you have full responsibility for your algorithms used by TikTok to prioritize content to its users? Yes or no, please?
Congressman, I'll just like to, if respectfully, if you don't mind, I would just like to start by saying it's devastating to hear about the news of, as a father myself, this is tragic.
Yes or no? I'll repeat the question. Do you have full responsibility over the algorithms used by TikTok to prioritize content to its users? Yes or no, please?
Congressman, we do take these issues very seriously.
Yes or no?
And we do provide resources for anyone who types in anything that
Sir,
is suicide
yes or
related.
no? I see you're not willing to answer the question or take any responsibility for your parents' companies, the technology, and the harms it creates. It's just very, very sad. Very sad.
Now,
Camille, do you take responsibility for when your dog got sick? Do you take full responsibility? Yes or no? Yes or no? Do you take
with all due respect, Congress?
Yes, sir. It's very sad. I see what you're doing. It's very sad. It's very sad. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. These people are, I mean, whatever. I mean, he was from Florida, and the last guy was from Georgia. So, I mean, he's
they might
probably the highlights.
Cherry picking some of these guys. I hope.
Oh my God. But yeah, and also you sent me this, that France and many other countries have already banned it for their sort of government employees.
Exactly.
And I love how it's covered. Like in Guardian, they had an article which was the America's breakup with, was it somewhere had a sort of article like America's breakup with Twitter. Why are Britain curbing the Twitter use? Nobody's talking about censorship. Just when in Iran you don't get to use Facebook, and we talk about it all the time. All of these websites are censored pretty much in Iran. And it's like, no, it's censorship in Iran. In the West, though, it's curbing. It's a breakup. It's a breakup, Cameron. We are, it's an open relationship. We are right now sleeping with Facebook only. So yeah, whatever.
No, true. But this article was like, the headline is a bit misleading because it's government like phones so that they're giving to their employees. They've just removed these kind of apps from it.
Oh, what can they put it on?
No, I guess they can put it on.
Okay, or that's.
Yeah, and it's like all.
I mean, to be honest, I understand for if you're a government employee and for your work phone, I would imagine, to be honest, if they allow any social media, then you're not really in any secret like level or anything. You're basically a janitor, kind of like glorified like secretary or something. So unless you basically have to, I don't know, use a burner phone and go 3 different cities before you make a phone call, you're not really part of anything. So don't worry about it.
Alrighty, Sam. So I thought before we move on to the rest of the geopolitics, Syria, Iran, we could stop by this video. Did you sent me this one? Did you watch it?
Oh yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was very good discussion on this is revolution and a lot of good videos. This one and the one on they had on Iraq war. Maybe this is a good place to just because it's about American imperialism and exceptionalism to talk about Iraq war as well. So yes.
I enjoyed something in particular about it though, which is that a social scientist in Daniel Besner kind of confirmed something that I always kind of think, which is he was saying how the word fascism is kind of analytically pointless the way we use it in the US, and it really applies to, it comes from Germany and during that period, that interwar period, and then I guess World War II, and that we just kind of use it to say that someone is bad. That's kind of what it refers to, but it's just, very, that's the kind of general way of using it and understanding. So, and I completely agree with that. I mean, fascism, anytime I hear it, I can never explain it, but really what the person means is that X, Y, and Z is particularly bad.
Did you, I think I sent it to you, I'm not sure, but then he wrote an article in the New Republic, basically, in which he argues that there is no such thing as American fascism, and most people who are using it are both using it analytically wrong, as well as sort of historically wrong, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, I agree with that. But I would say in academic articles, there is a point to be like, and by the way, fascism, he does argue that in his article as well, it doesn't start in Germany. Fascism starts in Italy and frankly, a lot of people have sympathies for that version of fascism before fucking Hitler ruins it with his racist hillbilly ideas. So, I completely agree that in majority of even sort of high-end literature of media, it's used completely as a floating signifier that allows you to attack your enemy without really specifying what is the problem with your enemy. Although, again,
so, like, you're a fascist, I mean.
Sorry? Sorry, what happened? Excuse me?
I called you a fascist.
No.
AKA
wait, in what
person.
sense? An athletic sense or a colloquial sense?
In the sense that everybody understands, okay?
But I would say, like, there is a point to be made that the idea that you could have like multiple parties, like I think there is much more homogeneity among the state parties after World War II. And there's a case to be made, everybody's a fascist after World War II, to be honest. It's just, you know, they just like, you know, Gore Vidal famously said that America has a single party with two wings, Republican and Democrat.
Yeah.
And the same is true about Iran, like Tony Blair, the Iraq War. I mean, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, anyways, I just wanted to say that, but you 100% you're right that 99.9% of times it's used all that. But did you hear the criticism of the Gerald Horne general thesis thingy?
No, I didn't hear that part, no.
Well, they argue that some people have gone so far in their American fascism sort of thing and stuff that they developed a sort of American exception, reverse American exceptionalism. You know, the type of shit we make fun of MAGA communism, you know, those idiots type things. But in a, you know, but they say like, you know, for sort of Gerald Horne historiography and that type of thing is sort of leads to that type of thinking, the reverse American exceptionalism. I mean, I think we have to admit there's an exceptionality about every nation. I feel like sometimes when people, like the Gerald Horne argument to me seems like saying similar, like to saying that Wahhabism plays a role in Saudi Arabia, is political, or Shia fanaticism plays a role in Iranian policy making.
Yeah.
Of course it does. I mean, like, I think
exactly, such a big,
So that's
crucial
but anyway,
aspect.
But yeah, very, very amazing. They had a great video on Iraq War. Do you remember where you were when Iraq War happened?
Yeah, I mean, during that time I was, so I mean, literally the moment where 9/11 happened, I remember that exactly. But the Iraq War, although it was kind of like, you know, reported like a sports event, there was pretty much a lead up and like one point when someone, you know, blew a whistle and they started running. But I remember the period of when my dad would watch it, but yeah, not the exact
Tariq
start.
Aziz used to show up, our team can do it, we can do it, we have a great army, it can withstand America.
Because it was set in advance too, right? It was like, okay, in 6 months.
France, Jacques Chirac was against it, you know, I don't do this, I don't go into a socialist country. And, yeah, man, a lot of George Galloway went there, Tony Benn went there. But yeah, I don't remember 9/11 at all. I don't know.
No, 9/11, I remember exactly. I think I was
Everybody says that. I don't
outside
remember
or something in the afternoon, and then I come upstairs, and then my mom had like a friend together. And okay, it's normal for my mom to watch, you know, news, or my dad, of course, but never if there's like a friend over or something. And then like the two of them were just like this watching it. I remember like the friend or whatever was making phone call. And like this wasn't someone who'd watch news or something.
Take the money out. Take the money out of US.
Are you watching it? So, yeah.
We knew, well, I met her once, that somebody who was in the planes, but it was, I don't know. I just don't remember. I remember the Taliban blowing up the thing, the Buddhist stuff. I remember that, but I don't remember 9/11. Anyway, but yeah, man. But they had a great video on Iraq War, which I think I sent it to you, and that video was great because in that video they discussed how shitty the response from the left was, and basically kind of racist. It was basically like, you know, like the left was never like, oh, okay, if you're gonna go there, where is the budget for the education program? Where is the budget for the healthcare program we're gonna provide? No, they were just like, get out, get out, get out. Anyway, but good segue, I guess, to Middle East. So, I don't know if you heard about this. After Iran, according to Reuters, this was reported by Saudi Arabian television, so probably accurate. After Iran, Saudi Arabia to reestablish ties with Syria, sources say. So it seems that things are
Interesting
moving way
development.
faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And by the way, this is interesting in a sort of regional sense. Assad and Erdogan were supposed to meet in Russia potentially or somewhere, but then it got cancelled basically. And frankly, it seems we are heading towards a war, like a sort of another sort of military operation, whatever you want to call it, by Turkey in Syria. Because so basically, Assad gave 2 interviews, said that I don't see what's the point of meeting when there are still Turkish troops in Syrian land or something along those lines. So that got cancelled. It seems both Iran and Assad are moving closer to Saudis as opposed to sort of Erdogan. And Erdogan, it seems very much likely due to election coming up, and he's doing very badly in the elections. He might do sort of at least, I would imagine he would do a military operation of some kind. I don't know. My guess, whatever.
I see.
So.
Oh, can you lean back? You sound really weird now you're doing that.
Yeah, sorry about that. How about now? Is that good?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what was I gonna say? Yes, that was the Syrian thing, and Lebanon next to Syria. Let me play.
Yeah, watch this.
Just 30 seconds. So now to Lebanon. Oh, sorry, before going to Lebanon, I just want to say, the closest person to Erdogan in the election, what is his main campaign promise? What is one of his main campaign? He's going to deport all the Syrian refugees back to Syria. And Erdogan is just going to deport 1 million of them or something. So, whatever. It's all great. Syrian refugees are doing great.
I think they're like 5 or 6 million.
Yeah. Now let's go to Lebanon.
Warning Lebanon urgently needs reforms to prevent hyperinflation. A conditional agreement was reached last year on a $3 billion loan to save its economy, but needed changes have not been made. Now, protesters tried to storm government headquarters in Beirut on Wednesday. Police fired tear gas to break up the crowds. Many of those are retired soldiers demanding a living pension. Well, Amin Salam is Lebanon's Minister of Economy and Trade. He's in Beirut.
By the way, when your minister is appearing in sort of a segment of a news show on Al Jazeera, you're not a real nation. You're not in the big leagues, but we have the president of Lebanon. He's been emailing us for we don't want to talk to him really, but we have to. Please give us money. We need money. Somebody help us.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Man, yeah, it's very similar to the Silicon Valley situation, except that they are not gonna give back the depositors' money. Probably they're gonna. The IMF is asking to maybe not, if you can, please don't give the depositors back their money. So they wanna. IMF is kind of hoping to turn the Lebanese banking system into sort of a, I guess, sort of a Ponzi scheme, basically. And that seems to be what's happening right now. So that's great. Now, and you heard about, did you hear about the developments in Israel? I am sure.
Yep.
First of all, this happened, and then I'll go to the democracy thing. So this is more geopolitics of Israel.
Now, Israel's finance minister has sparked a backlash after saying there's no such thing as a Palestinian people. At a conference in Paris on Sunday, Bezalel Smotrich described Palestinians as an invention of the past century. The EU's foreign policy...
By the way, in this video, they explained this is Golda Meir famously said the same, and Palestinian and Jordanians are very much angry. They also showcased the map that added parts of Jordan to Israel. So they are going full on sort of Nile to, what was it? Euphrates, Nile to Euphrates sort of empire, I guess. I'm guessing, I don't know. But yeah, good luck. So that's reason. I mean, Jordan doesn't seem to have much to, be able to oppose Israel with. So nothing's going to happen. But more importantly, and more perhaps negative to what's his name? Netanyahu is what is happening here.
The biggest protests yet against Benjamin Netanyahu's far-right government and its plans to overhaul the judiciary. Along with the Iran-Saudi deal, he's facing mounting problems at home and abroad. But how serious is Israel's political crisis?
How serious is Israel's political crisis, Kamir? It is. It seems to be quite serious, surprisingly. But I would say, though, I mean, in kind of principle, I mean, right now, the left-wingers, liberals are all, and left-winger and liberals within Israel apartheid state, obviously. They're all sort of supporting the judiciary. But I am generally of the kind that believes parliament should reign supreme over judiciary. So
yeah, but I don't know. I feel like, my gut feeling, you want to hear my gut feeling on this?
Yeah, exactly. What is your gut feeling?
Which is that the judiciary, though, I feel like whenever you hear something good happens, it often happens to like the judiciary, or I know it's like less democratic,
like banning of, like repeal of abortion in America,
or the opposite.
Yeah, exactly. It's I don't believe in legalistic. It's like you get this. It's like different schools of thought in Islam or Christianity. You have schools of thought that you should, stick to the text, originalist. No, man, there should be a parliament. What's the point of a parliament then? I mean, if the judges can say, oh, the prime minister, fuck him, he's gonna change the rules, like as in America does sometimes with president. What is this? It's bullshit. Just close down the parliament. Why are they there? Give consultation. But at the same time, obviously, this is a power grab by Netanyahu and a bunch of psychopaths. So, whatever. But then again, when you set up a nation on basis of psychopathy, this is usually what you end up with. Like, saying.
Yeah, but this debate, was funny on Al Jazeera.
Oh, I love this guy. Al Jazeera always brings this. I think he's Israeli, but he's in support of Palestinians. And they always bring. And I would like to make it clear: Israel's apartheid it was not a democracy before this. I like to frame this in the right way. And it's like, okay, man, it's Al Jazeera. We are on your side. Please stop shouting at us. We are on your side.
It's so good. Because all the protesters before and the clips were talking about, democracy, taking away democracy, and then he comes on. He's like, "What about the Palestinians?"
This is probably, though, they are right, though. This is probably truest democracy in a definitional sense that used to exist in ancient Greece. Because as you are, I'm sure, well aware that in ancient Greece, the citizens were about the 10% of the population and the slave population was about 90%. So you could argue that Gaza is like, perfect. It's just Israel as a whole is perfect democracy, a perfect democracy. So, and then we had some developments mostly with Iran, which was first that General Mark Milley went in front of some Congress hearing, whatever, and he said that Iran can build a nuclear weapon within 2 months or a couple of months, and in 2 weeks they have enough material or whatever. So basically, this has been like for the last 2 years, I feel American and Iranian military and foreign officials, deep state people who know Iran-America war is bullshit. They've been signaling that, it's not, they have nuclear weapon. Oh, can't do it now. Too late. Iran is, we have nuclear, we are exporting drones to countries like Turkmenistan and Tajikistan and Uzbekistan, all these new, fantastic nations. So I feel like they're basically telling us, people, don't get your hopes up. There is not going to be a war with Iran. We are focused on Ukraine right now. So
I love
that's
the
that.
discussions. It's always about how far a country is also to getting the bombs, you know? We
Or
covered
making
for the
the
past
bomb.
15 years.
Yeah.
It's all about that. Like, the end game is just to guess it accurately, whoever.
It's like, you know, it's like those people who are practice training for, like, I'm training to get 100 meters under 20 seconds. Yeah. Iran has trained well right now. But then usually when there is a peace between two superpowers, what happens is a hot war breaks out in the proxies. So what you had, it was first, I forget first who killed who. I think first Iranians, no, first Israelis hit some places in Syria that were Iranian held. Then Iranians hit some places that were American held. And both sides are, yeah, because some people are dead. And there has been basically Syria is on fire because America and Iran don't like each other. So, you know, as it's always been the right thing, Syria is going to suffer when Iran and America don't like each other. So, you know, that's nice. But did you not hear about this? This was
I did through you. Yeah, I looked at the stuff you sent, but otherwise, no.
And Biden warns Iran, US will act forcefully to protect Americans. He said, "Cut it off, man. Come on, man. You don't kill American soldiers, man. What are you doing? It's an election year. Calm the fuck down." So that's that. And then on the India-Pakistan stuff, I don't know if you heard this, but this is quite fascinating. This is really fascinating.
In late February, supporters of Amritpal Singh, armed with swords and sticks, stormed a security complex in the northwestern Indian state of Punjab and forced authorities to release one of his aides. Singh is a separatist leader and self-styled preacher who has revived calls for an independent Sikh homeland. Police accuse him and his aides of attempting...
as you can see, things got really violent. They broke into a prison to rescue one of his followers or one of his fellow whatever colleagues, I guess, I don't know. And then now there is a manhunt, and I think for a week now, Punjab, the whole region, like 40 million people have been cut off from internet. And it's really fascinating, man. In the Indian subcontinent, with you know, the Indian government becoming extremely Hindu nationalistic, these Sikh separatist movements becoming way more prominent than they used to. And we're going to discuss more Imran Khan, which is a much more sort of Islamic nationalist sort of guy in Pakistan, you know, than a technocratic, you know, guy. You see just basically all the old sort of things, all the old identities, all the sort of old religious strifes, I suppose. Maybe they're not old, maybe, you know, whatever, they're new because of new set of conditions, but all these things are becoming more important, you know. It's everything that has been going on since 2014 and Crimea and all that, and it's very reminiscent of World War II. I'm pretty sure within the next year we're gonna have World War II.
Okay,
like,
calm down.
Like a World War II situation. I think it's really, I'm excited. No, I'm excited. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be like a grand finale for humanity. You know, we're gonna go on a bang. Many bangs potentially. And talking of Pakistan, this is the latest update regarding Imran Khan's struggle with the Pakistani current government.
Oh yeah, the
former Prime Minister Imran Khan will be allowed to hold a rally, authorities have ruled. The decision comes after his party, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, gave assurances including the rally would be peaceful. But Khan...
So it seems for now he's won the... It's really funny. He's de facto free, but de jure, I believe he's under arrest or should be under arrest. I don't know.
He's just so popular that they can't come and get him, huh?
Yeah, and and his popularity is very concentrated and active. Let's not forget that, you know. And the elections are coming up very soon in Punjab, the region that India shares with Pakistan, and it seems his party is set to win pretty much, everything. So it will be quite interesting. And just there was also this, I don't know if you heard, there was an earthquake in Pakistan-Afghanistani border, and 15 people have so far, 19 people have so far died, which is very sad. And I've been worried, man. Everywhere around Iran, there's been an earthquake.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's really like getting like there was one in Turkey, then in tiny one in Iraq, and one here. I think one was in Russia, Turkmenistan. It's like I'm getting a bit.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I know, right?
My thoughts are with you.
Thank you.
Good thing
Yeah,
my
it's
parents are
getting-
out of the country right now for a few weeks.
Oh, good. Few weeks, they'll come back to ruins. They will be kings of ruins. They will have nothing. So yeah, that's I guess now we can move on to more fun stuff.
Alrighty, Sam. So let's move on to the quote-unquote fun part. God knows what you consider as fun, man.
Man, our boy.
But is your microphone there? Sorry.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. I'm getting a
You
bit
see, I'm trying
suspicious.
to
You're playing
make you
mind tricks.
uncomfortable. Exactly.
Yeah. Sam, something's behind you.
Making you
Yeah,
paranoid.
Yeah, Boris, I mean, a lot of left liberals right now are celebrating Boris's downfall because my man tried to organize a rebellion against Rishi, the usurper, and it kind of only 20 people joined the rebellion. But at least he's doing a goddamn rebellion. What the fuck is like Jeremy Corbyn and people like him are doing? Like, just compare yourself to this man. He's fighting to his last
Fair enough.
I wouldn't want to say last blood, last glass of champagne. Let's say he's fighting to the last glass of champagne. So, but I'm still hoping he makes a comeback. But I do feel like the moment is passing, man. The moment is, I don't know.
Yeah, although, I mean, every time, it's been so ridiculous, the turns that it's taken, that something crazy happens, something not crazy, something unexpected happens to somebody else, and that just has like a whole chain of like reactions. Like, okay, you end up as the queen. What? Okay, what? I didn't ask you this.
Queen? There was a series of events that led to your sex change, and now you're the queen. Oh, okay. All right. Ooh, that's fantastic. I always dreamed of being a queen.
So, yeah.
He's the most beneficiary of butterfly effect ever. Like, but yeah, man, it's so boring without him. Like, have you tried reading British news recently? Like, it's just unbelievable. Yeah, we passed the Northern Irish deal. Oh, there is gonna be a recession. Oh, there is not gonna be a recession. It's just, yeah. On the other hand, in France, though, things are kicking off, as people are saying. People have gone completely crazy and are, not, I don't mean crazy in a bad way. I mean, sort of there has been protest and all that because Macron is trying to raise the pension age and make some other changes, which I don't really understand the details. You're a French speaker. Come on, help me out. What are these changes to the pension system besides the 2 years?
Yeah. Beyond that, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, there was this also controversy that Emmanuel Macron takes off luxury watch during pensions TV interview. So as you can see, the watch is here, right here, but later on in the interview, it disappears. The watch is gone. This is, I mean, I have a theory.
I think people took this the wrong way. He's a magician, and people took everything there.
Okay, let me write this down. Add this to our theories. Magician. He's an amateur illusionist. Before
I mean, we already saw during the World Cup, he showcased that he wanted to be, some kind of like football trainer, not the coach, more like
yeah,
the water boy slash stretcher.
Yeah,
like,
he wants to do, he wants to do those old-fashioned variety shows that were popular in 70s. He wants to do a little bit of singing, a little bit of magic, a little bit of football. You're right. That's so amateur showmanship is one theory. The Elise Palace has come out and said, no, it was because his watch was clinking on the because of the noise that the watch was making on the clinking of the thing. My theory is actually that it was the work of Arsène Lupin, the famous French criminal. But the French deep state is trying to cover up how ineffective they are at protecting the French president. But that's just me.
That could be it too.
I mean, your theory is pretty good too, though. I like the showmanship.
But the
theory as
watch
well.
saga also has a second component, which is, was it a super expensive watch or no?
That's exactly I'm so glad we're in sync. I swear to God, we did not rehearse this, but this part of the article was the most shocking part to me. Let me read this. Farida Amrani, an MP for radical left La France Insomnia, which I'm guessing means Insomnia France, party, said the president of the rich has never worn his name so well. The exact value of the watch is unknown. French media suggested it was made by the French company Bell & Ross and cost somewhere between 1,600 euros to 2,400 euros. Which
So,
is,
I mean,
that's a cheap watch.
Yeah, this should be something really easy to figure out. But some are saying that no, he's not wearing that watch now. He's wearing this other watch, which costs 80,000, and is also the one that he won at the World Cup, they're saying. So I'm pretty
he
sure.
won a watch at the World Cup? Oh, war.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought they gave him a prize because he showed up at the World Cup. Okay, here you go, man. Here's a watch.
I mean, honestly,
for you.
if they would have checked his
Casio watch.
and heart rate and all this after the players, it was Macron in the stadium.
Pure just for his input, the FIFA has decided to award this man a watch. Here you go. Here you go, boy. But yeah, it was the most. I mean, okay, that makes sense. 80,000, okay, fair enough. But like a 2,000 euro dollar, what is this? Like, what is this? But I don't. Bell and Ross. I'd never heard that. Is that a famous watch brand? It's not Rolex level, is it?
No, I don't.
Rolex is more expensive than $2,000, right? I hope.
I mean, some are probably like 5,000, 6,000, 10,000.
Wow. Well, I mean, to be fair, Rolex and Omega are for the, Anyway, let's and talking of not the people I was just referring to, not the Novorish, talking about His Grace King Charles. He was supposed to visit France, but all these Macron's, frankly, inefficiencies are leading to really huge consequences. One of them being cancellation or postponement of King Charles's visit to France, which is very sad. I'm sure the people of France, just like me, love the king, especially love the English king. I'm sure they love the British king very much. I don't know why he's visiting France, frankly. It seems like potentially a traps, if I may say, my grace. They might take you hostage. I never trusted them, but whatever, if you want to go there.
But yeah, I guess he decided to postpone it.
Yeah, they said it's gonna be kind of could lead to really ridiculous. Timing was. And to be fair, when are people not protesting
in France?
I mean, I know this is a particularly violent and effective one, but I've never, like every time we travel to France, any of my friends to France, oh yeah, there was a, a strike on the metro and we couldn't get there.
I guess this one, he just thought, it looks extra bad. He's an old guy. Pensions have to do with old people.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like, why don't you work work more like I do. You know, to be fair though, he's working like, man, I doubt he wants to visit Macron. I get the feeling nobody who's met Macron wants to recreate that scenario again, especially somebody as, you know, intelligent as King Charles. So, you know, he's working. He's like 9 years old, and he's working. So, you know, French workers should learn from King Charles. Anyway, and now maybe we can move to, like, basically this is like really just more, I don't know, like more identity politics and stuff. But did you hear about this? Let me just play. I think there wasn't no narration over this. So if there's no narration, then I'll read. So no, there's no narration. So a Muslim influencer lady was attacked online, let's be clear, after she criticized or attacked a trans activist, Jeffrey Marsh, who's apparently super famous. And yeah, and I think, let me play some of her criticism, because I think it's kind of adds to the context.
Stop telling trans people that we're inspirational.
Stop telling kids to go on your Patreon and chat to you privately without their parents knowing.
So that we can talk to each other, you know, be able to,
So yeah, she
That
kind of
was
makes
funny.
videos that makes fun of that person's, yeah. And frankly, and then they show some videos in this clip, and I saw some other news story in which, yeah, he promotes sort of come to my website and go to the private whatever chat. And again, I don't want to, you know, overblown this. Like, of course, trans issue is not as big as, you know, Catholic school, whatever, children getting raped, or, you know, what all the other things. But we don't want to add to societal problems, do we? And this clearly seems to me a societal problem. I don't know, maybe I'm just a conservative reactionary. I'm happy to be if this is progressivism. I'm very, because this is frankly a sick man. This is a sick person, I think, like mentally or potentially physically. I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, I don't know. She said she's by
based
the way,
on what I've seen and this video and everything, you know, hard to disagree. But
I did read an article from somewhere which was much more sympathetic to Jeffrey Marsh, just to get a more balanced view, because this is obviously Al Jazeera, and naturally they are not very, very pro
brothers and sisters, what is that supposed to mean?
It means maybe in Islam there are still certain. I'm sorry. But she was upset about the fact that she was doxxed. So that to me seems the real issue. Because to be fair, I know she's upset, and I think it's awful that people attack you online for having views, but that just comes with the territory.
Yeah, no,
So
for sure. The only thing that sucked is when she said that,
her address, her children. Yeah, that's just, that's illegal, and should, I think, hopefully be, you know. And same with the trans people, by the way, if they are not doing anything illegal and whatever, you know, I think if somebody harassed them because they disagree with them, that's just. And there was a similar case in New Zealand. Anti-trans activist Posy Parker ends New Zealand tour after chaotic protests at events. The controversial UK gender activist was booed, heckled, and doused with tomato juice in a heated confrontation between groups in Auckland. And this kind of reminded me of Auckland. And I love New Zealand, by the way. By the way, Sam Neill, who's from New Zealand, recently announced in his memoir that he's in last stages of cancer. So that's another sad news from New Zealand. But anyway, yeah, man, it's really fascinating to me how these hipster LGBTQ whatever supporters are completely going, you know, as I showed you, you can see they follow very similar trends, in my view at least, the guy in Georgia. Like everywhere I meet them, from Georgia or everywhere I read about them, to New Zealand, to Iran, to Turkey, to UK, they're increasingly becoming more violent and really anti-freedom of speech. Not that, I'm just think freedom of speech is the biggest issue in the world or anything. But do you agree with that, or maybe I'm cherry picking to push forward the conservative narrative that I have?
I don't know. I don't know how widespread it is.
Okay, fair point. I'm just going by anecdotal evidence and stuff. So
But I
really,
agree
there should
on
be a
the anecdotal
sociological
ones, though.
It's just, I mean, to be fair, I mean, you could argue the Pakistan-India thing that we're talking about, the sort of increasing, it's not just the trans sort of people who are pushing, religious groups, Muslim, Hindu, and Sikh, and everybody's becoming far more sort of defensive about their positions. Maybe not violent, but far more defensive.
Correct.
Is that trend? Some sociologists, please do a sort of empirical study when you have the time. We can't be bothered. So, and then there was this, which was, so what happened? I forget. It was quite a long time ago.
So Anna Kasparian tweeted like,
said, "Don't call me." Should I play?
Yeah. So Anna Kasparian said, don't. Oh yeah, you can just go on a tweet. Don't call me a.
Tweeted? Okay.
Yeah, she tweeted. She said, don't call me a.
Sorry, where is it? Oh, here.
Yeah, there we go. So she said, "I'm a woman. Please don't ever refer to me as a person with a uterus, birthing person, or person who menstruates. How do people not realize how degrading this is? You can support the transgender community without doing this shit." So, she's like, oh, then if you read her other tweets, she's like, I don't want to be referred to as a body part. The first thing that it made me think is just like imagining being referred to as like an ejaculator.
I've been referred to as a wanker quite a few times, so I don't know if that's
Imagine, okay, we have to like set on such crazy definitions. That's the only one that would be okay. Men, male or wankers. Okay.
Go to a hospital.
Scientific
Wanker, wanker, Sam, wanker, Sam, come here. No, but first thing it made me think is that since Anna Kasparian is saying that, should I be now pro-trans people? Because that's how I usually take my position. No, but she's, I would say, you remember what Professor Finkelstein said about bellwether? I think I really get the feeling she's a good bellwether in these issues as well. I feel like she's another sort of a sign that the tide is shifting. I mean, this person has no beliefs or this complete empty fucking shell of a human being. Not in even a bad way. She's just a LA, just an empty person. But so she's just, I feel like now she's sensing, okay, now that's the thing to do. That's
Alrighty, Sam. Sorry there, we got cut off. So you were saying you were gonna ask me a question, or?
Yeah. I was gonna ask you, when somebody says, for example, I tell you I met a woman yesterday, what comes to your mind?
A female who is between the ages of like 28 and 36.
Okay, Freud needs to get on this for whatever reason you're gotta ages. No, but seriously, when somebody says I met a woman, do they mean, like, does it come to your mind that they met somebody who's like some creature that is more sensitive to music or nature, or like is weaker than you, or something like that? Does any of that come to your mind?
No, why?
Because they go on to talk about, and this is one of the things that he's talking about in this trans debate, that, well, it's for medical stuff, in a clinical setting, you need to know if it's a blah or it's a blah and stuff. And sure, you need to know if somebody is, intersex or whatever, rare cases, whatever. But when we say a woman, all we mean is somebody who has a uterus and has, I know there are some women who can have babies or some, but woman is a shorthand for that. So I really don't understand. I understand in somebody's medical case, somebody writes, yes, this woman doesn't have a uterus, or this woman doesn't have the ability to have kids. But I mean, this is just getting ridiculous. I mean, they are ruining. I mean, this is the most ridiculous assault on English language. And frankly, just thinking like and then they're, and by the way, if you identify as something, it's not a medical clinical thing, because they mention like they but they identify as a man. It's not a clinical thing. You identifying as something is your own personal fucking fantasy. Go do it. I identify as a national hero. It doesn't make me one. Fucking, I mean, it's so weird. It's
Can't
so weird.
disagree
Man.
with you too much. Oh, what did the Humanist Report say there? Scroll down, please.
He says, I saw it. He says, I have a lot of respect for you, and your analysis. You are a great mind of our generation. But here I have to call you out. This is where I draw my.
This is my primary concern.
Your analysis of economy, of politics is fantastic, but this is a blind spot. Anna, the great monk. Here. Well, they passed it.
I know that was good enough. I like your version. I'm sure it's close to that.
My version is more accurate to his heart than he knows it. So yes.
Oh my God, I respect you a lot, but this notion that the mirror exists, shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah, man, this is, by the way, these people are all evidence that we need to bring back bullying to high schools all across America. Like, people need to be told to shut the fuck up, including Anna, by the way. If you are complaining about, if you go somewhere, there is a stupid form that instead of a male-female says, I don't know, menstruating and wanking person, whatever.
Ejaculating.
You don't complain about it, or only complain about it to your, loved ones. Okay, beyond that, you're.
But maybe that's what Twitter is.
That's it seems.
Twitter, I mean, it got good traction.
You mean Twitter is like a device to pinpoint the people that need to be bullied? We go to their houses now. We use that information. That's a great idea. Yeah. We use that. We nationalize Twitter. We use the information to hunt these people down and bully them into sense. And then I sent you a couple of articles back to back, and it was just fantastic. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, I read this one.
So let me start from the beginning. So this starts with a quote. I cried for a long time. Hold on. Black hairstylist dream crushed by racist neighbor. My God, what happened? So this lady, for people who are watching, this lady over here, she had a dream of having Angel Pittman, had a dream of having a mobile hair salon.
Yeah, and she invested 14,000 into that and some land.
Which, by the way, if it's a mobile hair salon, I still don't understand how her business plan worked.
I guess to park the vehicles there.
Vehicles? There was one van.
Oh, one? I thought there were three.
Oh, there were three? Oh, sorry.
No, maybe there was one.
Okay, even if there was three, can't you? Anyway, I was wrong. Anyway, but then she first visits the property. She loves the property. It's a fantastic by the way, this property is in Georgia. And now me in Iran knows what kind of people live in Georgia. By the way, my uncle lives in Georgia, so shout out to my uncle if he's watching. Anyway, it's one of the very few people in my members of the family sometimes leaves a like. So anyway, so she's moved to Georgia. She's like, yeah, I bought this house, and then it was fantastic.
Not even a house. She bought a land and parked the bus there. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Then she goes there after buying it, like moving there. And then there is a neighbor who this neighbor so About a week after closing, on 23rd of September, she returned with her mom to drop off the buses to the property, which is 8 miles from Salisbury. This time, she said the man approached them and asked, "Why are you guys here? Are you all looking for shade?" I
What
apologize
does
for
that
my
mean?
mis-
When I read that, I was like, "What are you looking for
shade.
shade?"
That's a racist trope because like black people are lazy. That's a, like I'm guessing. Yeah. I mean, I doubt any of this, but we talk about authenticity of all of these events that we are describing. And then they talk about Rowan County. Sorry, I go to the. Okay. When Pittman returned with her parents a week after dropping the buses off, the neighbors' behavior became more violent. Violence. Very interesting use of the term. Quote, "He sat over there and had his gun out the whole time," she said. "He was like, 'Get the fuck off my lawn,' and that we need to get them fucking buses off his lawn." So basically saying my land was his. So violence, I haven't seen anything violence. I've seen a lot of bullshit and harassment, but sitting on your own law being a dick is not a crime, as far as I know.
The gun part is a bit.
It's not a, no, in America, I agree there should be more stringent gun control laws, but it's not a racist thing. That's a gun control thing, right?
No, the violence part, it'd be more threatening, I guess, if the person's sitting there with a gun.
But that's not violence. Is a it has something physical should happen.
Yeah.
Gun should be pointed to you or something. Come on. She then noticed her buses had been vandalized. The glass windows were broken, racial slurs were etched, the man prominently displayed Confederate flags, swastika. So this is something else. Like the vandalization is, that's a criminal activity. The man prominently displayed Confederate flags, swastikas, and KKK signed all over his yard, as is his rights, which Pittman said weren't there when she previously visited the plot. And again, I think KKK are the biggest idiots in the world. If you're racist, you are. I can't think of like a stupider. I would put majority of animals have higher intelligence than racists, but they still have rights because they're human. So what do you want to do? Unless we're gonna start policing people's ideology, I don't see what we can do with this guy. So then she goes on to say that she contacted the police, and she says the police talked to us for a little bit, but they didn't do anything. They just wrote a report, and that was it. In an interview with The Guardian, one of Sheriff's Captain Mark McDaniel said the officers who went to the scene knew the elderly man and did, quote, observe the damage, the broken window, and the stuff that was sprayed painted on. So it wasn't etched, it was a spray painted. When asked about recourse for the attack, McDaniel said the incident happened before he started at the office. He said, according to the reports, there is no indication it was a targeted attack because the neighbors always had white supremacy sign displays. Quote, "It wasn't like he put it there overnight," McDaniel said from the information available in the report. It was nothing like that. So these items there were not just put there after the buses were put there. So according to the police, which by the way might be lying, I don't know, this guy was like a known racist, as they point out, like 70% of the city are like 79% of people.
So what's your
in the city are white.
on all this?
So then this happened. Then and then police.
I mean,
is
she
not
pretty
good
much
enough,
closes shop right after that. I mean, she decides.
Yeah. But then there was this news report update. Guardian article on U.S. women's hair salon ruined by racism. Prompt police investigation. Sheriff police reached out to Angela Pittman in response to the story, but 21-year-old said she won't speak until she obtains counsel.
Oh yeah, this is the one
until she obtains. So now listen to this. In response to this story by Guardian, a lot of people contact the sheriff station. The police station, they come out and say, first of all, she never contacted us. She then comes out and it says it was it was my parents. And it turns out that let me see, what was it? In further review of the deputy's report and body cam footage, Miss Hope Pittman's mother never reported that any threats had been made to her or anyone else. So threats were not reported to the police. The statement by the police acknowledges the vandalism and racist signs, but since the publication of the Guardian origin reporting on 21st of March, we have received numerous inquiries from various media outlets stating that they have been in contact with Angel Pittman and said she's alleging that threats were made to her and her family by neighbors. To date, we have no record that Angel Pittman has ever contacted or spoken to anyone with our agency in reference to this incident. And then she said that it was my mother. And then she said this. Personally, I'm scared of police officers, said the 21-year-old. I've never, ever been pulled over. I don't even know what to say to a police officer, especially with police brutality and stuff. Oh. Pittman said that she and her family will not be speaking with the sheriff police until they obtain counsel for their safety and to ensure they approach the matter carefully and with appropriate legal attention. Quote, they're trying to make it seem like they cared about this whole time, that they're but they didn't. That's it's a white person, black. So basically, and then if you go back to the last article, at the end it says Pittman is now raising funds to help her recoup her losses and to buy unrestricted land in Charlotte. So far, she's managed to tow 2 of the 3 buses to Charlotte, where the storage fees are racking up. So that's what this was about, man. This was about her trying to raise funds, in my view. That's what this was about.
Perhaps.
Like, you know, the business is not working as well as you can. Oh, it's a racist attack. And I'm sure there may have been a racist attack, but connecting it to the old man and creating a whole story about it, and police the police didn't do anything. Oh, you know, all of that to me sounds like how should I get some, you know, how do I make myself a victim? This is how, you know, that's my, I don't know.
Yeah.
You're very silent on this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
What is your gut feeling? What is your gut feeling? Theater or not theater?
I mean, no, you're not saying theater or not theater. You're saying, like, you know, was it staged? Or what you said, you know, it was staged pretty much.
No, I'm not even saying it's a stage. The racist spraying might have happened. I'm saying the narrative that she created to tell the news story about the racist neighbor, police not caring, like, you know, I'm just saying. And I mean, did you hear, like, the whole thing was that basically her buses got a spray paint, and once, and I'm sure, shouldn't, by the way, cars, I don't know this because I'm not a driver, but aren't cars supposed to have third-party insurance, and like that's like legally required of?
Yeah.
Like you should have, like
you should have insurance, yeah, for sure.
So it covers all of that, no?
I mean, that's just a wash anyway. It's not so hard getting it off.
Well, maybe it's, I don't know, permanent paint or some shit. I don't know. I'm just saying. You know.
Yeah, it could be. That would be funny.
No, I'm just saying it would. It would be covered. Let's
but
say
I don't think that's her main issue. I'm guessing.
She was made to feel unwelcome, I suppose. That's her main issue. But then again, honey, move out of your fucking street you're born in, and you're made unwelcome. I mean, you grow the fuck up. Like, what did you expect, to go to a city that 80% is white, who are 80% of that 80% are above the age 75, and what you expected to, you know, be a cosmopolitan society? Why did you go there, by the way? Maybe because the rents were cheap, huh? Maybe that's why that society is like that. But anyway, from her to let's but shit on some significant people. It makes me feel better. Did you hear about this? That AOC basically went to a Bronx high school event that was also, to be fair to her, it wasn't just for that, but it was being used for military recruitment.
No, her excuse part is hilarious. Yeah.
What was her excuse?
She's like, how could me? How could I do such a thing? Yeah, just play that.
It was a student services fair.
Politics is so crazy because people can just like
wake up and make up.
Just sorry, this
She's
is
like a
side
Mean
note.
Girls character, like straight up. Oop.
Oh, she's definitely a Sex and the City or a Mean Girls character that has come to life. But it's just the fact that politics is like, politics is so dirty. Politics is so... have you been in other industries, motherfuckers, as dirty and as crazy? And anyway, sorry, that was just a side note. But can somebody... Anyway.
Whatever they want to say about you, and it'll be totally false. And people will just believe it. Right? They'll just believe it. So today, someone made up a rumor that me, was hosting a military recruitment fair for high schoolers. Now, like, does that sound like...
Are these people who are supported, are they not ashamed? Oh, sorry.
Something I would do? Like, no shade to anybody, but just me. Does that sound like something I would do? No, then basic due diligence would mean ask a follow-up question, right? Like, just because someone is like said something on Twitter and posted a screenshot, like ask the next step is not I'm just gonna believe that and share it. The next step is let me ask a follow-up question.
In 2020, Ocasio-Cortez proposed a ban on U.S. military recruitment on the Twitch platform. Joining us now to discuss this is host of the Savvy Saps podcast.
Sorry, you were saying?
So, I was just saying, seriously, man, my nephew is 7 years old, and I don't talk down to him like this. Are you not ashamed of yourself to be like, you idiot, I'm not a bad guy, I'm a good guy, I do good things, I am for good people, happy good people, gay people, nice. And just
no, you're right. I didn't even think of it from that angle, but she was literally acting like a 16-year-old, Hollywood movie character. Like, just...
She's disgusting.
That was disturbing.
She's not I've never seen somebody this unappealing, because she's not an ugly person, but just her presence truly is disgusting. I guess because we know about her, I suppose. But wow, just can somebody run against her? Like I swear to God, if I was in her district, man, if anything but a racist, I would vote for over her.
Oh, I thought you were gonna run. I thought you were gonna say if you were in her district, you would run against her.
Oh, that too. If I could, I would do that too. Yeah, sure.
Sam for Congress.
I would run on a single issue. I will not be annoying. I will not be making Instagram.
By the way, I have to tell you something really funny that's happened. But yeah, this video is horrible.
Go ahead.
Sam Cedar went on that Patrick guy. Do you know the Iranian Patrick guy, money guy? He went on his channel and they talk about bank and all that. It's
all my favorite people. All my.
Yeah, just look at the thumbnail.
I mean, these people feed off each other. So, it's very natural for them. They are very much intellectually at the exact same level. I would say Sam Cedar seems to me much more of a sort of knowingly being a hack. The other guy is just he was in the U.S. military. So we are talking about the dumbass.
And then he did insurance. He's done a lot of stuff. And he's made money, Sam.
Entrepreneurs, 20 ways to succeed by eating a frog. Yeah. And then there was this, which made me fall in love. Unlike the fucking AOC video, this video has made me fall in love. And from what I understand, her marriage is a sham, so this should work out fine.
Basketball team following a 28-point loss to Kansas. Let's watch.
You played hard. You played to the very last second. You made all us Bison so proud. You showed the world who Bison are. I was at Howard back in the day where we were just happy that there was a game. Much less getting to this place, right? And I see Bison literally all over the world, and we've been talking about you, this team. You make us so proud. So I know you may not be feeling great right now, okay? but know who you are. You are excellence.
Sam,
Well,
did you
oh
hear
my
about the
God.
bison in Tehran? Does your
Oh, there were bisons. Oh, yeah, I saw a bison running off the other day. He was, man, hey, she's okay. Aren't you in love? I mean, I love this sweet idiot. How can you not love this? I mean, she's exactly like AOC trying to talk to a child, but completely like she's one of those. You remember, like they used to bring in substitute teachers that were completely incompetent,
Yeah.
and children within 15 minutes would run the class, and they would just, please, it's okay, just
Yeah,
calm
no,
down. And
exactly.
oh my God. And to be fair, though, this is like Biden's presidency. It's kind of like as American power is decreasing, it's kind of, don't worry about it. You did great. You fought till the last second. You tried in Iraq till Afghanistan. You tried till the last second. And it's all over the world, bison. They're good. What is wrong with her? By the way?
Man,
Do
so
you think she's sick?
no, but Glenn
Like-
Greenwald actually did a whole segment, and he's like, "Oh, you know," before this clip, just from like previous clips, she's like, "You know, they broke Kamala Harris,
Waterboarded
Kamala."
her
They're like,
until she
they're
couldn't
like, if you would
speak
see her
right.
back then when she was a prosecutor, she was like really good and all this, but you know, they put so many limitations on her that they've broken her. If not, she was actually really good at speaking and smart and all this. And I kind of
Yeah, I
disagree
remember. I
in
remember.
some. I'm like, okay, fine. If you say that she's smart, she should be at least smart enough that, you know, despite those limitations, she's a bit more.
No, I don't know about this smart, but she was a much more capable speaker than this. She
Yeah, in
wasn't
this
like,
role, she hasn't been able to do it. Yeah.
you are doing you're good all over. No, it's like they replaced her with a really malfunctioning android. Like it's like can't finish sentences and shit. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
she just doesn't have the
I don't
hang of it. She doesn't know how to bullshit in this context.
Yeah, but I really hope they increase her. She's one of my favorite sort of, recruiting characters on the show. So I really hope they increase her appearances. I doubt she's get paid much, so
Yeah,
yeah.
more like a side character.
Yeah, more of a side character. But before, I guess, in talking about Twitter, we were talking about sort of media people. You sent me this. I didn't have time to
Yeah,
read
there's a
this one.
hilarious, the fourth paragraph, if it's correct, is just absolutely hilarious. Fourth or fifth or something. Just scroll down. So the story is pretty much about how Elon Musk, for
Jesus,
some
American
reason,
website.
at 2:30 a.m. in the morning, sends an email saying, stop working from home, okay? At 2:30. I love it. But there's this hilarious part. Maybe go a bit more.
Where is it?
Oh, hold on. No, scroll up, please. Slowly, I'll tell you and stop. Oh, easy. Scroll up.
Oh, here.
But no, can you command F poop?
Here, report Twitter CEO Elon Musk reportedly sent a notice to staff
Yeah, I
early
know.
Wednesday morning.
That's the
but
story,
in
though.
the headline, it says 2:30 a.m.
Sorry? What does it say in the
In
first
the
paragraph?
It says in the early morning in the first paragraph, but here it says 2:13 a.m. And again, here, according to platformer managing editor Zoe Schaefer, Musk emailed employees at 2:30 a.m. in the morning, writing that office is not optional. In the email, he complained that half of San Francisco headquarters was empty the day before.
Yeah.
Musk is not a fan of
Okay,
remote
hold
work back
on.
in November.
But okay. But anyway, I didn't want to really say this anyway. That wasn't the main part of the story. Can you just keep on scrolling down? There's a paragraph I'm looking for. Oh, hold on.
I thought
Go
you said-
slowly. No, keep on going. Oh, there we go. Okay. If this is true. So Twitter is no longer responding to requests for comments from the press. The press@twitter.com email address automatically responds to journalists with a poop emoji.
Jesus Christ, man.
Do you think that's real? I swear. I was like,
Yeah, let's try it. We are a press, technically, I suppose.
I mean, anybody, yeah, that'll be hilarious. Jesus.
I mean, to be fair, I cannot think of anything lower than journalism. But then Elon Musk comes around and you evaluate. But I mean, yeah, Jesus
Twitter,
Christ.
I have a feeling though that they've added like a second home thread, and perhaps it's not so bad. If you go on the app, I don't think it was always
Second
like
home
this.
thread? What do you mean? I don't understand. What's a
Yeah,
second
so
home
like
thread?
when I look at the main page, there's following and there's for you. Was this always the case? Go to
Oh,
home?
are you talking about mobile phone? I
Yeah.
never. Oh, I don't know. I
But
don't use it on the mobile.
try it on Twitter on the computer. Oh yeah, you see
Here,
for you
what?
and following. Was it always like this?
So yeah, I think so. I
Ah,
don't know. I think so. I don't know.
Never
I
mind.
have no
So
idea.
only the poop emoji has been the only change that's been initiated at Twitter since he joined.
Fair enough, fair. Oh, Corbyn is trending. Let's see why.
Oh, there you go.
He gave another statement about how Israel is bad. He's sick of yes.
Oh,
Okay. Oh, bad people are bad. Thank you, Corbyn.
Oh, Corbyn.
But
Last but
yeah,
not
man.
least,
What do you think of this remote working thing before going to win it?
I mean, I think it's like, yeah, if you're like, if you work somewhere far or if you have kids, it must be so beneficial to you.
I think a lot of bosses cannot deal with the fact that frankly, most of their employees are useless or are doing useless tasks, and it's just a lot of illusions are being broken down, I think, about what was happening in offices. I don't know if you feel the same.
No, I mean, no, I just thought that remote working would remain a lot, but now I'm thinking maybe some places they'll get rid of it fully, but some companies I think they'll keep it also just fully actually and just have people working remotely for you and save in that sense.
It's kind of like the sort of health insurance and Medicare for all thing, that it's good for all of capitalism, but it's not good for a segment of capitalism. This is also like what do we need all this, like, I mean, it's good for the people who have the commercial real estate, but otherwise, besides that, what's the point of, like, 70% of offices are useless space? Like, get rid of it. People are homeless, motherfucker. Anyway, and then just to end on this story is probably the only story that beats the Honduras switching sides from Taiwan
Hey,
to
that
China.
was the
in
biggest
terms
story of the day. I don't like how you're kind of undermining that story.
That was so big, but this might be bigger. This might be bigger. Gwyneth Paltrow testifies. She was in a. Gwyneth Paltrow is being sued, and she's counter-suing for being in a ski crash in a Utah ski resort. So that's the gist of it. And then she testifies she felt violated in Utah ski crash, which is, I thought, violated.
Wait, what did she say? Why did she feel? Wait.
Actor thought crash
but
was
I
a
thought
prank
she
or
was
something.
being sued.
Yeah, she's being sued, but she's also counter-suing.
Okay.
Yeah, but actor thought, let me read. Actor thought the crash was a prank or something perverted during a 2016 collision with Terry Sanderson at a mountain resort. And I mean, look, the guy. I watched the YouTube lady Emily D. Baker who covers this and stuff. The guy's suit seems somewhat suspicious because he's remembering a lot of time from immediately after he was knocked out, which is like usually when you're unconscious, you don't have memories.
But was he knocked out? Like, was it that bad?
That's what he claims in one statement, but then he says she immediately escaped to, I don't know how you see that, but I don't know the details, but I love how she has immediately gone for a sort of, violated, perverted. She's using the language that I was basically raped. What?
He was
I was
groping
basically
me.
raped.
When?
He was When I crashed into him, he was trying to fill my boobs as I was coming. He was targeting my boobs. So it's just everybody's become a fucking hysterical, like nobody. I mean, I guess that's what pro lawyers told her. That's your best case, lady. So, that's
perhaps.
That's not. Have you ever read Goop, the magazine, or have bought any? Your wife have ever bought any products or
of what? Sorry, of Boo?
Goop. You know Goop? You don't know Goop?
No.
Are you not familiar with Goop? Goop she has a magazine and I think they have a show or something now on YouTube or something, and they sell products. It's an online sort of website, lifestyle. They sell. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. They sell vagina scented candles, as well as sort of like healing rocks that you put up your bum or something. And like for $300, like idiot.
No, I haven't seen that or any of those videos.
No?
The only thing I've seen from her, this is from a few years ago, like 5 years ago, and she takes two of her kids with her to supermarket, and she's gonna show how you can eat healthy on a budget. With like $30, she ends up buying like one kind of leaf and like a few eggs and like one other item, and like she has two kids. This is not gonna go anywhere. Kids are gonna be starving. It was just the funniest purchase, like the stuff that she had. Like the total calorie amount were like 200, like between everything she had bought. It was just so funny.
She was going on Sam's diet.
I swear.
Gonna have leaf next, because gonna have an almond today plus a hazelnut.
I'm like, yes, you managed to stick to the budget. However, you didn't really purchase food for three.
She used to be married to what's his name?
Yeah, the Coldplay guy.
Yeah, Chris Play.
I don't know his name, but yeah, the Coldplay lead singer.
I like Coldplay, by the way. Again, I know everybody hates them. They're cheesy and pop and shitty. I like them. I really like. Yeah, they're like
not the most embarrassing thing out there for sure.
It's kind of pretty close to Imagine. They're not as bad as my favorite band, Imagine Dragons.
Yeah, even them, they're not the worst. They're not,
They are. If you like them, it seems like anybody who knows music, and I tell them like I like them, they stop like having contacts, any contact with me. So
we'll forget about that. But okay.
Anyways, we are done. Today was a bit longer. I apologize. A lot of shit was happening in India and Honduras.
Yeah, I feel like I might need to limit your scope of it. I feel like I can stick to only this geographical location.
It was just so many parallel events. I was like, no, I have to cover. The Honduras thing was the main.
I appreciate that.
If you have fans or potentially one viewer in Honduras, I'm sure they will be very.
They feel happy. Yeah.
They got mentioned. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's wrap this up. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.